Hi everyone, it's me, Julie. So today I'm coming at you with a story time video. It's about my previous relationship with an ex-boyfriend that I had a while back when I was 18 years old. I was like this little twink, this little Asian gay boy. And then, so I'm just gonna jump right into the video because I don't wanna waste any more time. So this story goes back to when I was 18 years old. This was a time when my parents were still together and we lived in a bigger home. And just to show off, I'm gonna say I had the master bedroom, and it was so freaking big, and I would die and I would kill to have that room again. I was an ungrateful bitch back then, so now I'm just like, ugh. So how I met this guy, I met him through my best friend in high school. Her sister lived upstairs and this guy lived downstairs. And basically my best friend at the time was saying, hey, come over, there's like another gay person and I really want you to meet him. And I think he was 24 years old. Yes, he was 24 years old, a white male. And you know, I went over to the party and I met the guy and I slept over at his house downstairs and nothing happened. I don't think so. I don't know, I don't remember. But anyways, we like fell for each other, and like he was very, when I first met him, it was like he was very jealous and he was very like aggressive and very like possessive. Like he would get mad that I didn't stay longer, and he would like slam doors and all that stuff, which I thought was really weird. Like the second day of knowing him, like it was just a little bit too much. So this guy lives in New West, and you're supposed to like cross a bridge to get to his place. I would say it took about like 20 minutes to get from my place, which I lived in Surrey at the time. So Surrey to New West, it was like 20 minutes drive, and I was in high school. I was like 17 years old, 17 or 18 years old, I don't remember. Around 17, 18 years old, I was like dating this guy. I drove a Honda Prelude, which was my first car, and much love. I love the Honda Prelude. And so I had the Honda Prelude and I would like drive to his house and do all these things for him. We dated for quite some time and I didn't really see all the red flags and the signals. Like I was so young and I was so naive, and I would say that this whole dating at such a young age has kind of shaped my, you know, who I am today. And I hate that I was so trusting at such a young age, and I'm just so naive and young and dumb and blinded by love kind of situation. And so I didn't see all these signals. I didn't see all these things. They say you're blind when you're so in love with a person, but when you step out of the circle and you step out of the relationship and you look into what's going on, you see that there's a huge problem. And all my friends were like, you gotta leave him, you gotta leave him. But I was like, no, I love him so much. Like when I love someone, I will do anything for them. Like I will like jump over oceans for them when they don't even like jump over puddles for me, if you know what I mean. Like I would drive like to his place and like walk his dog for him, do his laundry, clean his house, and he was so unappreciative and he was using me and I didn't even know this. Like he would ask me to do all these things for him. At one point he asked me to pay for his fucking rent. Sorry for swearing, but like I'm pissed. My blood is boiling while I'm sharing this story with you. Basically, I'm 17 years old trying to save my lunch money to pay for this dude who lives on his own in a basement suite. Excuse freaking me. Okay, like I'm here saving my lunch money, trying to pay for his gas, trying to buy him like his groceries, and like, girl, I wasn't wealthy. I was a 17-year-old kid, okay? And so, you know, he asked me to pay for his rent. He asked me to do all these things for him. Always asked for money. And did I pay for his rent? No, I didn't. Because girl, I couldn't afford a $900 freaking rent. Like, are you kidding me? Like, no, I could not. He would take me to like Kelowna to meet his family, and his brother was having like a baby shower. And so we stopped at Toys R Us and I bought like boxes of like diapers and like milk for him. I was 17 years old, okay? Like, I had to save like all of my lunch money to freaking support him and his family and whatever. So I bought like, I visited his family, you know, I bought all these stuff for him, and that is my mistake, and that is where I went wrong. I was way too giving. I was way too, the relationship was way too one-sided. And if I were to talk to my 17-year-old self, I would say don't give so much of yourself away. You know, a relationship is a two-way street, and one person shouldn't always be paying for things. But like, especially if I was 17 years old and he was 24 years old having like a job while I'm going to freaking high school, like where does that come in? And it was just really, really weird because every time we'd get into an argument or something, he would like act so crazy. And I've never seen anyone act like this before. And every time we'd like have sex or just like be normal and just like hang out, like he would act really weird. Like I would notice these things, but I didn't know what it was. For the longest time ever, I kid you not, swear on my life, I thought his house was possessed by demons and like different ghosts and shit. Honestly, I would tell my best friend, I'd be like, girl, I think this place is haunted. Like I could not sleep over at his house and I would be so scared. Days I would come over and I can just see him bang his head against the wall. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is happening? And he had this weird aggression for like no reason. I don't know where this aggression came from. And I didn't know what was going on. So like years after we broke up, like one of his roommates started to talk to me and was like, oh, by the way, like, did you know that your ex-boyfriend was on drugs most of the time? And I'm like, excuse me? He was doing cocaine, he was doing all these other drugs, shrooms, while dating me. And I had no idea. And it kind of like answered my questions why he was acting so strange and this weird aggression. And he would lie to me all the time. And I would say that was probably one of my worst relationships I've ever had. I mean, I had another relationship with my first ever boyfriend who I broke up with because of stuff I found on his computer, which was completely inappropriate. Like, you know, porn is fine, but when it's like, you know, an underage thing, it's a freaking issue. And I was so young at the time that I didn't know if I should report it. That's another story time, but yeah, that was huge. Apparently I just attract the wrong type of boys and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's me. Maybe I attract the same person. I don't know. Anyways, back to this 24-year-old. Like there would be nights, school nights, he would call me and tell me to come over to his house and bring him ice cream. Here I am sneaking out of my home at midnight during a school night, driving my Honda Prelude, going to the corner store, like a 7-Eleven or something, and buying like the small tub of ice cream because that's all they had. I'd buy like 2, drive over to his house, give it to him, and as soon as I open the door, he's on his phone with his ex-boyfriend. And it's so heartbreaking for someone to do that to me. Like, excuse me, no. And there's so much more to that relationship, and I didn't know at the time that he was on drugs and he was using me, and I was so like madly in love. I'm the type of person that loves to love. I love being in relationships. I just love having someone. And so that was kind of my experience. And I hate the fact that I was so young and I've dated such a young age, and now it's kind of, you know, I have this different view on men, and unfortunately I have trust issues, and it's so hard for me to completely trust a man. And I'm jaded, you know, I'm jaded by all of my previous relationships, and I hate that because, you know, the next guy could be so nice, and unfortunately you know, it's hard. And sometimes I question myself, is monogamy really a thing? And I feel like I just don't trust people, period, because, you know, of all the shit that I've been through. And I guess it's unfair because I know there are good guys out there, there truly are, but, you know, I just feel like majority of the men out there, not all men, because I know people are gonna like yell at me for that, but I know like majority of the men, like, trust me, some men are pigs. Some. But yeah, I just want to share that story with you guys. Just a peek back in my previous relationships and why I don't talk about relationships anymore. I'm very cautious now, and my tip and advice for you guys who are younger and want to date, just be extremely careful and just protect yourself and make sure you're safe, and just know who you are dating, because I had no clue who I was dating. And I think that's where the big age gap is, especially when you're so young and you're dating someone that has way more experience than you. Like, you could be fooled and you could be played, so just be careful. I was 17, 18 years old, dating a 24-year-old. I didn't know, I just have this thing for older men. But I've definitely learned from my experiences and my mistakes, and yeah, I just wanted to share that little story with you guys. Ugh. I will talk to you guys very soon. Hope you're all doing well. Stay strong and shine on. Bye. Mwah.